Hey guys, first off I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to the last video with the first autocross of the red truck. I've got more laps coming up. I just gotta go through all the footage and pare it down so it's not like 4 hours of just sitting around doing nothing and then 30 seconds of actually racing. So thank you for tuning in. The truck was fun to drive. I think it actually does better than green. I think it's got a lot more get up and go, and I think that the steering is a lot more responsive. So, but as you can see here, we are dealing with rocker arms today. So you all know that I've been having rocker arm issues with the green truck since, well, it seems like forever now, and I think it's a very poor design. I'm not a big fan of it. But my engine that I'm building for either one of these trucks, whichever truck pops its engine first gets this motor over here. That's the VG33 that I'm going to be hopefully running a factory blower on, and there's a whole bunch of other facets to that, so one of these days I'll actually go over more detail about what I'm planning with that. But I have to keep the green truck running because I want to be able to drive it this year. This engine's obviously not going to be ready for this year, and we're going to be losing this facility pretty soon. Unfortunately, there's going to be some major changes going on around here, so bear with me. I'm not giving up on any of these projects right now, but there's going to be some things coming up in the near future that are going to be rather life-changing. So I'll keep you guys in the know as I know more. But today I decided to get some work done on these rocker arms here. These are all Melling engine parts here. There's 4 different numbers that you need to do this. There's a MR, well, I have them written down here, I'll just show you. There's an MR 1266 that you'll need for exhaust 1 and exhaust 3. There's an MR 1267 which you need for exhaust 2 and exhaust 4. The MR 1240, which is this box right here, that's for the front intakes, and the MR 1265 is for the rear intakes. I will show you that here. They are not referring to the front and then the rear. There's front, rear, front, rear, front, rear, front, rear. So just bear that in mind. Then there's exhaust 1, exhaust 3, exhaust 2, and exhaust 4. So 1 and 3 are the same, 2 and 4 are the same. You don't want to mix them up because you will probably have a bad time. There are clips. If you look here, there are clips that keep the rocker arms from sliding around on the rocker shaft itself. If you get them mixed up, do not worry. Nissan was nice enough to actually write where these are supposed to go, although they don't really make a lot of sense number-wise. There's 2 clips that are the same, and they both say I24. If you look closely, they say I24 on them right here. That means that this clip works on cylinder 2 and cylinder 4, position 2 and position 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. Okay, never mind. I was wrong. Now I've got it. So this clip here will say I1 on it. So that's the first clip. It only holds the first rocker. This can work in position 2 and 4. It holds rockers 2 and 3. This one will say I3 right on it here. I don't know if the camera can catch that, but it says I3 right here. This only works in the center position for position 3. Then here's another 2, 4, and then this one says I5 right on it. And there's arrows pointing as to which direction that, it's supposed to face. So there's a little dot on the end of each one of these rockers. So there's 2 dots for the exhaust rocker. There's 1 dot for the intake rocker. And then from there it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the intakes. And then there's only 2 on the exhaust, and they are identical. So you just put on, you know, between 1 and 2, and then there's one that goes between 3 and 4. So that's how you get the hardware all set. I'm soaking these in oil because I'm not exactly ready to pull the ones out of the green truck yet. So what I did was I bought a sterile white clear tub here, and I just filled it with oil, and this will allow me to put the lid on it and lock the lid into position. So as it sits here in the garage, there's less chance of any kind of contamination that gets in there to throw a monkey wrench into this whole swap here. Yeah, so you guys can use that for reference. The only other thing you're going to need tool-wise, besides basic hand tools to do this, is that I went ahead and I made a new one of these. This is a timing wedge. It gets knocked down into the timing chain, between the two timing chain links there, and what it does is it keeps the tensioner from popping out and falling into the pan. You can find the dimensions for this in the Chilton's book. There's really no mention of this in the service manual, the factory manual, but in the Chilton's manual it says that it's 1.5 inches, or 1 inch on one end and 1.5 inches on the other, and it needs to be 10 inches long. And what I did is I took my 12-inch sander here and just trimmed down the edges so that it goes in and comes out a little bit a little easier, so I have less wood chips floating around inside my engine. So yeah, that's the stage that I am currently going to stop at for now. I'm waiting for something to happen that's unrelated, so I can get it done here. I just, in case you're wondering, is I gotta mow the lawn, which is, you know, gotta happen. And then once the lawn is mowed, then I can bring the green truck inside here and cripple it for the time being that it takes to put these rockers on. I'm hoping that it's not going to take too long. I don't have to pull the oil pump. I don't have to pull the distributor. I do have to pull the camshaft gear off of it. I will zip tie the camshaft gear to the cam, or to the chain. I will zip tie the gear to the chain. That way I'm not missing any teeth, or I don't jump any teeth. And then it's just removing the gear, pulling the 10 bolts. There's two banks of 5 bolts here that hold this on. And then once you take that off, then the rocker arms will completely lift off, and it'll leave the cam towers in place. Then those are actually loose, so you could actually pull the cam towers right off and pull the camshaft out. Now, something that I have here that I want to show you guys is this is a KA24E cam tower right here. Excuse me. And this is actually the middle one, and this is how you can tell. The middle one has the oil feed port right here. So the oil actually comes up through this second hole right here, this little hole, and goes to the rocker rail. Now it also splits and goes across. So it goes to one rocker rail through this hole, one rocker rail through that hole. I'm thinking that I've been having some sludging issues. Maybe my cap here is a little bit caked or coked up inside, so this is going to be a deep clean kind of thing. I am going to pull all the cam towers off, and even go so far as to pull the cam out, so I can soak these. I want, or at least soak this one, because I want to clean the oil return and feed. I don't want to have you know, oiling problems as a result of this if I can avoid it. You'll see the rest of the towers here do not have oiling holes for the rockers. So the oil is fed through the center tower here, through those two smaller holes right adjacent to the bolt holes. So that may be a problem if you're doing this and you really want to get down and dirty with a good solid deep clean. You may want to pull that off and just tank it, and you know, I'm going to probably just use brake clean or some kind of gum cutter to get that cleaned up, or even just let it sit in kerosene, just as long as you don't damage the bearing, because that is a bearing surface for the camshaft itself. It's also a good time to replace the cam if you felt like it, and you could go with a, you know, whatever cam you want. There's a lot of options out there. Well, there were, if you can find some. You know, sky's the limits there. But I'm going to probably stick with the cam that's in the truck right now. It seems to be running pretty good, other than having just rocker noise, which is coming from exhaust rocker number 1 right here. So this is the front. Everything's pointing this way. This is forward to me. So this is exhaust 1. This is the one that's been making the most amount of noise on the truck. These are all brand new milling rockers on reconditioned rocker shafts out of another engine. I think it actually came out of this engine right here. I tanked those for like 6 hours just to try and get any kind of caking or anything out of it. That's my problem. I think I have sludge going on somewhere, or a piece of debris is going through and has clogged these rocker arms. If you look at these rocker arms closely, by the way, let's take this example right here. I've never noticed this, but there's actually a little bleeder right here. Little ball here that's supposed to bleed off. And if you look at these are actually kind of clean. These actually aren't all that bad. I mean, I could clean them up and use them on another KA engine. But I had another set in this bag here that's in this box. These are originally off the green truck. And if you look carefully, this set right here, you guys take a look here. These are absolutely red. I don't know, my memory is not what it used to be, so I don't know if I ran like some kind of oil conditioner like STP or Lucas or some kind of oil treatment of some kind through it that stained it red like that. But I think that what it did is that there's actual like chunks of just like caked oil, and or this oil treatment that got into the system and started blocking passages or shrinking passages, so we're not getting enough oil up top. This is the first set of rocker arms that I replaced last year in the rocker arm video. I took these out. Thank goodness I kept them all together in the right order, because I could use them as reference to be able to put these ones back together properly. So I feel pretty confident that at least the surgery will be okay, but I'm trying to just make sure that I'm not going to just send these new rocker arms to their doom, because through Rock Auto, those were $270 shipped for the whole set. I don't really feel like blowing up $270 just because I didn't take the extra step to clean as much as I could and degrease as much as I could. So I'm being a little anal. You guys may not agree with how I'm going about this, but I'm doing it all in steps, and I can't cripple the truck right yet. I have to wait until the lawn's mowed and a couple other things are in place, and then I can bring it in here, cripple it for like 3 days while I anally go through it. So while we wait, I don't want anything to rust, and if I can help, you know, speed the bleeding process up a little bit by letting them sit here and soak, it's just one less thing that I got to worry about in the near future. So that's all I got. If you guys got any questions, just leave a comment down below. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll have some more autocross videos from this previous Sunday. Yeah, I appreciate all you guys. So have a great day. And yeah, leave a comment below if you got any questions. Take care now.